Hey everyone, it has been a while, but I'm going to bring you another neighborhood that you need to know. This is a neighborhood I am sure you've visited in the past. It's a neighborhood that is, let's say, well-to-do. I'm sure you've window shopped there before, probably enjoyed a nice ice cream, and certainly have smelled Cuban cigars as you stroll down its neighborhood streets. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about the community and neighborhood of Yorkville. Hey everyone, I'm John DeFreitas. I'm a local realtor in the GTA with Sutton Group Summer Realty. And let's talk about Yorkville. It's a neighborhood I am sure you have visited before. I know I have. It's one of those places that you love spending time in because it's affluent, it's posh. You can rub elbows with George Clooney or Bono, the like. But first you need to know a little bit about where it's located, understand kind of its history, where it came from. Was it always that posh sort of pocket that we have in the middle of the city? Also, what's so great about living there, and what are some of the reasons you would never want to move to Yorkville? Stay tuned to make sure you hear all of that information. So Yorkville is located just north of Bloor Street. Bloor Street is also known as the Mink Mile, the main shopping district in the city of Toronto. So its borders are Davenport to the north, Yonge Street to the east, Avenue Road to the west, and Bloor Street to the south. Now, a little bit about the history of Yorkville. So Yorkville dates back to the early to mid 1800s, where two good buddies decided to buy a whole bunch of land, which is now Yorkville, divide up the lots, sever them out, sell them, and thus the development of Yorkville began. Well, these two gentlemen were obviously affluent. The first gentleman was Joseph Bloor, this guy. A little bit of a frightening looking guy, if you ask me. And the second gentleman was William Jarvis, this guy. You see, William was a sheriff in Upper Canada at the time. And Joseph was a very successful brewmaster who had his own brewery just northeast of Yorkville. So back in the day, Yorkville really wasn't part of the city of Toronto. As a matter of fact, back then it was called York. And Yorkville was seen as a place to get away from downtown York and the traffic and smog of the mid-1800s. So that was a destination to start a quiet residential life. Well, let's fast forward to the mid-60s, and now Yorkville is the epicenter of the activist movement in Toronto. It is the center of everything cultural, artistic, and music related. Let's face it, it was covered in hippies, and it was an extreme bohemian fest. A great place if you wanted to experience all the arts and culture that the city had to offer. Hey, some of the most influential Canadian musicians started off in Yorkville. People such as Joni Mitchell and Neil Young and Gordon Lightfoot all spent time hanging out, playing music in Yorkville. Well, Yorkville has transitioned since the mid-60s. It is now an extremely posh, expensive neighborhood to live in. But what are some of the things that make Yorkville such an attractive destination for those who can afford to live there? Well, first and foremost is the fact that it is conveniently located in the heart of the city and close to all types of amenities. You have high-end restaurants, somewhat affordable restaurants, fantastic cafes, boutiques, shopping, all sorts of shopping. Everything from Prada and Versace to, let's face it, HomeSense and Winners. So there's a little something for everyone there. Another reason people love Yorkville so much is the fact you never know who you're going to bump into. I've bumped into, personally myself, several celebrities in Yorkville. Mike Myers is one that comes to mind, and I'll never forget the day that I was walking down Yorkville on a Saturday night with my fiance at the time, and there he is, Mike Myers, trying to conveniently conceal himself with a hockey stick as he walked across Cumberland Avenue. So that's the sort of thing people love about Yorkville. Now, what are some of the reasons people would never want to live in Yorkville? Well, I can tell you the first most significant reason is because it's too damn expensive. The average detached house in Yorkville is going to cost you over $4.3 million. That's incredibly expensive. And besides the point, it's also very noisy. Because it's such a tourist destination, you have plenty of noise throughout all times of the year. And if you live anywhere near Cumberland, Yorkville Avenue, Bay, or Avenue Road, you're going to have noise. Lastly, it has a lot of traffic. And you're going to have a very difficult time parking anywhere if you don't have a designated parking spot with your property. Take you half an hour to find a parking spot and then another 5 or 10 minutes to walk away. So those are some of the reasons you don't want to live in Yorkville. The real estate in Yorkville, needless to say, is very difficult to come by. Mostly what you'll find are row houses throughout Yorkville, built in, again, the mid to late 1800s, filled with character, just fantastic neighborhood streets, and people really enjoy it for that reason. But the real estate doesn't just stop at row houses. There are semi-detached houses. There are also plenty of high-end luxury condominiums right in the heart of Yorkville, but also bordering both Bay and Avenue Road, as well as Bloor Street. So Yorkville is certainly an interesting destination for people who have the cash to be able to afford the lifestyle to live in the heart of the city. But it's also a great place to visit. Beyond Yorkville, there are tons of other fantastic neighborhoods all around the GTA. And one of the things I love to do are talk about those unique pockets across the Greater Toronto Area. And if you're interested in learning more about Yorkville or any other pocket around the GTA, I would love for you to reach out and connect with me. You can do so on any of my social media sites. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel and stay completely up to date with all the videos I put out related to neighborhoods and market changes, as well as real estate topics. So it's been a blast bringing you this great neighborhood. I'm hoping to bring you one a little quicker than I did this one. But until then, keep looking out for the next great spot. I'm John DeFreitas. Can't wait to bring you another neighborhood. Take care.